Today's episode is brought to you by White Glove Car Wash. Man, it feels like we just never get a break. We go from salt and brine on the roads right into pollen season, and our car never seems to be as clean as we needed it to be. That's where White Glove steps in. They are offering unlimited car wash packages for as low as $20 a month. You can take your car in daily and make sure that it is shiny, squeaky clean like you always want it to be, and not have to worry about cleaning it yourself. And with the satisfaction guarantee, you will never have to worry about it being just right. With locations in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, you are never too far from the glove. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, go out and support small businesses this year and support your car by giving it the best car wash possible. Just ask your phone to take you to White Glove Car Wash and be taken to the nearest location to you, and let them give you the best car wash you have ever experienced.
Welcome to Talking 215, your go-to podcast for everything you need to know about Philly sports. Whether you bleed green, trust the process, fly with the Flyers, or fight with the Fightins, this is the place where we break down Broad Street. Jake, Sean, and Joey deep dive into the heart of Philly sports culture, breaking down games, roster moves, and sharing the stories that make the 215 truly legendary. So grab a cheesesteak, settle in, and let's get to Talking 215. Now here's your host, Jake Biasado.
Talking 215, back with another episode. We got Philly Dogs Chris, we got Papa Sean, and we got the Doc in the house. Gentlemen, I feel awful. I am so sorry to take you all away from the MLB All-Star game that I know we were all dying to tune into. It's essentially the Philadelphia Phillies versus the American League, with how many of our beloved Phillies were out there. So I do appreciate the time that you are just giving up away from the biggest game of the year that was circled on everybody's calendars here in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. But aside from that, how are we feeling today?
Feeling good.
I feel left out like Christopher Sanchez.
Christopher Sanchez, also the number 3 highest odds for Cy Young. Left out of the All-Star game. MLB gave some piss poor excuse saying, "Oh, no, we offered it to him, but he said he didn't want to play, and he didn't."
Well, also, why is the break like 2 days? Why is the All-Star break so short? Make it a week so that these guys will actually want to play.
You know exactly why it's so short.
Yeah, so it means that the All-Star game means nothing. Like, you were the third alternative, but now you get to carry on that you were an All-Star into these negotiations, your next contract. And then likewise, somebody else gets, I don't want to say robbed, but you have to turn it down because you're pitching in 48 hours after the game.
Well, Christopher Sanchez and his team says that they didn't turn down anything because they claim they were not offered anything. MLB claims, oh no, we offered it to him. And they said, the hell you did. We would have easily pitched an inning. We don't care. And they said, oh no, we did. So I'm going to side with Sanchez and his team here. Rob Manfred and the MLB clearly fibbing. Breaking news here. MLB dishonest. A lot of big takes here. Doc, you're a doctor. Christopher Sanchez. There was no real concern for him to go out and pitch one inning where they're not throwing their good stuff in the All-Star game. So you would side with him there when he's saying, no, there's no way in hell I would have turned down my first All-Star appearance.
Absolutely. Why would you? I mean, like you said, he's only going to pitch an inning. Even if he gets shellacked, it's not going to affect him long-term or even short-term. So, yeah, I don't see why a player would turn that down.
And the Phils still paid him out the bonus, right? I think I saw
they
something.
Did the right thing, and they said, hey, man, you are most certainly an all-star. We're going to give you your all-star bonus because the MLB absolutely screwed you. And really, it's the stupid fan vote. I mean, there is way too much merit. Like, give it its role, have it be a part of it. But you also need to understand and look at just stats and say, hey, this guy should be an all-star. This guy is an absolute stud. I mean, look, the fact that this might be the bet of the year right now. Christopher Sanchez, 3rd highest odds to win NL Cy Young, and he's still at plus 2,000. Those are some good numbers. Yeah. Plus 2,000 is 20-1, folks, for those that aren't degenerate like me. That's some
was
good
it
9,000
to start the season?
I think it was only. I think he dropped like after what was it? After one spring training game, it like cut in half, and he was like plus like 6,000 or something like that after he had one dominant spring training appearance. So I don't know where he was at the start of the season, but Either way, plus 2,000 with third highest odds. Good numbers. Anyway, I know a lot of people are concerned about the dog days of summer. They are currently upon us. We are very shortly to be out of it. Training camp is right there out on horizon. And I want to ask you guys real quick, 30 of the 32 second-round picks of the 2025 class are yet to be signed. It seems to only be this second-round area where all the agents got together and said, hey, we need more guaranteed money. Is there any concern there with Andrew Mkuba and the Eagles, or is this much ado about nothing?
I think it's nothing. 30 out of 32.
It didn't even register to me that that we haven't signed him yet. The one that comes to mind is Shamar Stewart of the Bengals, which is really the big ticket item in the storylines these days. He's still first-round pick, hasn't been signed. That's unreal. Yeah. But no, I'm not worried about Mkuba.
Yeah, I mean, these are just their agents trying to see what they can milk out of the organizations. Just trying to set the precedent. They're just taking their time. They know they're going to be reporting for training camp when the time comes.
Yeah,
and it's Howie. Like at the end of the day, it's Howie, right? Like we trust the process and we trust in Howie.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about it. The guy knows that he has got an outside chance of being a starting safety. Like that's our one kind of glaring area. And I'm calling it an area because we don't yet know if it's a weakness or not. It could be, but we don't yet know. It's our glaring area at this time because Sidney Brown, still relatively unproven, came in, missed all training camp, missed the start of the season, and we already know Vic Fangio is a guy that he needs to see a fair amount of you before he's going to trust you out there. But he saw enough of him to say, hey, CJGJ, see you later. We heard in an interview either yesterday or today where CJ says that the Eagles told him, hey, you're either going to be released or traded, and the very next day he was traded. He is going to be coming in town for the ring ceremony. So cool.
He apologized too. I think that was a big part of the video.
Cool. Like, dude, it's every other day. It's something else. Right after the trade, it was, hey, I get it, man. Like, and then I'm so slighted. Oh, I can't believe it. Today it's, oh, I'm sorry. Tomorrow it's, oh, I don't know. My baby mama's claiming that I put a hit on somebody. Like there's
neighbors, yeah.
Well, listen, what I think is fun, and it reminds me of because whenever he has these, I don't want to say outbursts, or whenever he says anything negative and kind of just, I don't know, it's silly, he's usually like gaming, he's streaming, right? And then he actually goes and has like a formal interview and he's like, well, I really wasn't thinking straight. And I just think it's so hilarious, like the difference between the two. Like we always joke when I sold cars, like, all right, if you want the truth from somebody, you got to ask them during the test drive, right? Their guard's let down. They're preoccupied with doing something else. And whenever you see CJGJ like gaming, like fiddling, he's just like, yeah, they can all go to hell in Philly. And then when he has like time to sit and think and like the lights are on him, he's like, well, you know what? There really wasn't any bad blood. I do apologize. That wouldn't have
I think it's just cooler heads prevail. Like at the time, you put a camera in front of his face as soon as he gets traded away from a Super Bowl championship team in Philadelphia and get shipped off to Houston. I don't know. To me, I feel like he just wanted to see himself stay in Philly, and he liked us, we liked him, and now he's had some time to kind of sleep on it. And but yeah, I mean, your reasoning could just as well be, but I think it's just cooler heads.
Yeah, I think he's nuts.
Oh, I do think he's somewhat of a head case. Like it's not something I want in the locker room, but I do love the physicality and everything else he brings to the team.
On the field, great. But when you're on your fifth team in 5 years, like, and you're giving pretty high level play, there's something there.
There's probably a lot more there that we're not seeing. In the day in and day out, in the Monday through Saturday, this guy's probably all over the place.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that like they would have taken into effect if this guy was loved or not. If they're like, hey, this guy's giving us a constant headache in the front office, but he's loved in the locker room. We don't want to take this guy. Like they love this guy. It's going to really upset a lot of people. Like they very quickly were like, all right, see ya. Like, so you have to imagine they knew players weren't going to be like, how dare you?
I don't think it had anything to do with the money. Like, I know that's what we've been told. I know CJ even said it himself. I still don't think it has anything to do with the money because there's been a lot of content creators in the Eagles Twitter space where like, I heard the story, just trust me, it needs to happen. It's like, well, that's super vague and definitely leaves
there's a
wiggle for interpretation. Like,
a ton of huge contracts we've got, both on the books and incoming, and they pick up some like his
Right.
contract. It seemed like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know if
Signs
any of
in-
those content creators will ever come forward and tell the true story. But
you should just say that you've heard the story so that we can sound like we've
I don't
got
have
them,
any.
'cause can
I
tell
don't
you
have any
95%
fucking
of them.
sources. I can.
Who knows
Yeah.
if they
Tell
do
you that
either?
right
I mean, when you're putting
Listen.
it out there, like, "Hey guys, just trust me on this."
It's
I
really
mean, we could say the
it's
same
really
thing.
bad. You guys
You
don't want
could,
to know, okay? But believe me, he had to be dealt.
But the person that it was, I do trust, right? It was
I
Brunson,
trust you.
LB, right? Yeah. And not me. I got no sources, but he's apparently buddy with these guys at CJ in particular, and they like FaceTimed and like talked about it, and apparently he's got the DL, but I guess a couple people do, but we don't here.
Well,
Not me.
Well, the latest news was
Not
that
me.
after he got ejected from the Commanders game, that was like a big kind of tipping point.
Well, I think it's a combination of you've got a very experienced defensive coordinator and a young team, and you don't want some guy that's going to rock the boat. He's controlling it. Fangio's like, look, and he wasn't a guy that Fangio didn't pick this guy. And so I think he's like, look, I've got a good thing here. I've got some very talented young players, and I don't want them to follow in this mode. So see ya.
Yeah. And look, I'm not, I don't know anything that allegedly happened. So I wish the guy nothing but success.
I agree.
I hope he goes out and plays great. I hope he has a long, successful career. As long as nothing comes out something crazy. I like the guy on the field. He was fun as hell to watch.
Yep.
I hope he does well in Houston. I hope the guy we got for him is great. He's a massive project, but that's what this team thrives on. That's what Stoutland and this whole team just can mold into something great.
And maybe Quinyon can get a regular season interception with him out of the secondary.
That'd be nice.
Just saying.
You know what? See, it's like when your buddy breaks up with his girlfriend, you don't talk shit because they might come back.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk too much shit about CJ. He might be back in a year, right? We've already seen it. So it's one of those.
Exactly. He can come back anytime. No, it's we're going off the rails here on CJ a little bit. We're just so itching to talk a little NFL football, especially with the Birds. But breaking news came out was it yesterday? Paul George, arthroscopic knee surgery, going to be reassessed prior to the start of training camp. Doc, not so much medical, but is there anything to this team being cursed?
You're looking for the witch doctor. No, but
yes.
I think they're cursed with something known as age. And I think when you get to this point and you've had some issues, I mean, it makes me nervous that he was training off season and hurt his knee to the point where they recommended surgery. I mean, what does his knee look like that, doing whatever drill he did caused him to have an operation? So, and an operation where he's going to recover means that he's, effectively losing more cartilage, losing more cushion, and it just makes him more prone to have more injuries. So this whole team is circling down that whirlpool, and the circles are getting tighter. I think it's going to be almost comical to see what they bring out, and I feel bad for the young players because they're basically doomed. They got these two guys that their whole success is going to be predicated on their ability to even get on the court, which is always in doubt now, and more so as time goes on.
But I mean, let's be honest here. Is our success really going to be predicated on Paul George? Like, we had a listener send in a list of 100 players I would rather have than Paul George, and I haven't found one that I disagree with. So is that guy that I think there's 100 people that we'd rather have than him? Is he really what's going to be deciding our success or not?
No, but we're locked into him. We have him now. We can't get rid of him, so we have to root for this guy. And for
yeah, of course.
But I mean, I think that something like that just makes me think, oh my God, this is, we bought a lemon, for lack of a better word, and we're going to have that lemon because nobody, even now, any trade prospects are now greatly diminished because he just had a surgery. So we're never getting rid of these two.
Yeah, no, it's
so we got to make, and that's what I'm talking about. These two are the pillars of our team, and they are severely flawed. And even if they were at 100%, there's no guarantee that this team has the ability to do anything in the playoffs, even in a diminished Eastern Conference. I mean, you say, oh, we got the big three, but what has the big three ever done? So nothing. It's just Yeah, it's just a horrible basis, a horrible nucleus.
Yeah. I mean, Doc, we said it when there was the rumors that Paul George is coming to Philly. We were like, hey, if we're Daryl Morey, what's the contract we're offering? And you and I were both like, it's not more than 2 years.
Yeah,
Like you don't, if the guy says, nope, I need 4, you say, all right, man, have fun. Like,
yeah,
best of luck. Or if you change your mind, we're here with 2.
yeah,
And the guy was too old, he's too injured, and you just can't give that guy a 4-year max contract with so many red flags. And now they're
yeah,
just kind of reaping what they sowed. Like, this guy is injured constantly. He missed 75% of his first season. He's already injured from just working out this past off season. And we're gonna see probably very similar to what we saw this past year. I'm with you, and I've said it about a million guys. I want nothing more than for him to be the MVP this year.
yeah.
I would love for him to. I would love for our starting 5 to be 1 through 5 in MVP voting. But we're being realistic here. Paul George is likely to miss half the season and to have very little impact when he's actually on the floor, other than a few games here or there that make some kind of Twitter highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, he's it just staggers me. I'm almost like speechless about this whole thing. And it's like we have the Lowry, we have the gentleman teacher, so we don't need 2 of these guys. So if he can't contribute on the court, he's completely worthless to us, except for the fact that he's taken up about a big chunk of our salary and hamstringing us.
Now the Sixers are far away from being able to be very successful, and it's a shame because they do have some young pieces. Like,
Yeah,
obviously Maxey is somebody that's a budding star. Like, that is he is a budding star in the NBA. Jared McCain's an exciting young player to watch. Obviously, anytime you have a 3rd overall pick, you're excited to see what VJ Edgecombe can do. You have some young pieces, and then if Joel is healthy, and that is probably the biggest if when it comes to the current time NBA, but if and when he is healthy, he's one of the most exciting players to watch in all of basketball. I mean, if this guy was healthy throughout his career, he'd be one of the top 3 big men of all time. Is the skill set that he possesses, but he's not.
Yeah.
And so it's just a shame because they do have some pieces, but it's like I said, it's almost like they're cursed, but it's also a curse of their own bad decisions.
Yeah.
Given Joel, knowing the status of his knee, giving him a 5-year extension, knowing everything they knew about Paul George, giving him a 4-year max, just knowing what James Harden was going to do for you and trading for him. And then hindsight falls into that as well, knowing that you were offered Tyrese Halliburton and others for Ben Simmons and turning it down. I mean, that just comes back to bite you too and makes everything just more sour.
Absolutely.
No, it's a damn shame. We got a listener that is going to be coming on in a week or 2. He's unfortunately a huge Cowboys fan, so he's fully expecting to just get absolutely ribbed the entire time that he's on the podcast. But he's also a huge Phillies fan. So who the hell knows how this happened? We're going to find out. But he's got season tickets to the Blue Coats, and so he's excited to have some of us come with him to a Blue Coats game and see any kind of budding talent from our young farm system there with the 76ers. So we'll see. Any thoughts about the 2030 WNBA franchise coming to Philadelphia?
I got my tickets already.
I hope the buzz is there in 2030. I have a really strong feeling that we're watching the kind of the apex of popularity of this league, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think that by 2030, I all of the investors and everybody that has any sort of money in this is going to be like regretting this decision.
Chris, you're notably quiet.
I thought he was frozen.
Purposely so. I was kind of going for that, just like so I don't have to comment on my WNBA takes. But I just don't really care. To be fair, I don't really care about the Sixers either, so it's not sexist. But
basketball's not your thing.
Nah, man. Nah,
I unfortunately think
Sean's
Philly,
correct. Though, whatever across the board for the city.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still very upset that that the Philadelphia Soul are no longer a thing. That the Philadelphia Stars had 1 year and out, made a championship appearance, and they're no longer a thing. I mean, I'm still upset about a lot of those things, but I kind of think that Sean is correct that right now it is riding an all-time high surrounding Caitlin Clark and everything they can put around her, whether it's dislike anything, and that 5 years from now it's going to be like, all right, cool. Like, but again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's great success. I hope that the 70 Sisters, the Bells, whatever you want to call them, whatever their name ends up being,
The 76 Hers.
76 Hers. Yeah.
Yeah. Still my favorite.
Got a sponsor.
Would you need like a she and a slash before that? I don't know if it has to be like a she slash hers. I don't know. I don't know if you can
it
just.
might have to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can just do hers. Yeah, I don't think you only use. I don't think you can use one pronoun in a team name.
A dash.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have the 76 hers, I think you'd need a dash.
A dash. Yeah. Okay. I thought we were going slash here. I thought we were talking pronouns. Dash. Important distinction. Excuse me.
No. Is it definitely? I meant a slash. Yes, a slash.
Oh, I thought he was going pronouns too.
Yeah. No, I'm going pronouns. I think he was.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's 2025. Sean, come on, wake up.
The she slash hers. The Philadelphia.
Yeah, you can't just use hers. I mean, unless we're talking chips. Unless we're talking chips.
Brilliant.
That's the sponsor.
I mean, we're dwindling these numbers down.
No. Doc is on to something. It's not the 76 hers as in female. It's the 76 hers as in potato chips. 2 R's, sponsor. That's it. You got a big potato as the mascot? Are you kidding me?
25 to 50 people every night.
Literally dozens of us.
Killing it.
Yikes.
Tens of those fans are going to be so thrilled.
Dude, I want the Phantoms back before I want.
Bring the Spectrum back.
Yeah.
Please.
Build the Spectrum back. Get the Phantoms back in here. Oh man. What a time to when you're watching Phantoms hockey in the Spectrum. What a time. I mean, Doc, you probably saw some Flyers hockey in the Spectrum.
Well, I was just thinking, this was the 40th anniversary of Live Aid, which I attended. So there's JFK, and they showed an aerial. You see JFK, then the Spectrum, then the Vet, all in a row, all in a line. I was like, those were the glory days.
Yeah.
And now I'm the old man on the porch. But yeah. I mean, JFK was a, what hole. But there were some cool events. The Army Navy game was there every year. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Vet kind of sucked too.
Yeah.
Somewhere around here, I have a piece of the Vet. I snuck under the fence, and I probably can't get arrested for this anymore. Whatever they call that in legal terms.
Yeah, it's over.
I was gonna say, if it's the turf, get rid of it. You're gonna die.
No, it's not the turf. It's like
the cancer's already there.
It's like a chunk of like concrete. I got a piece for me and my dad. He's got a piece at his house. I got one around here somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it is because it's a giant piece of concrete. But yeah, I got one. So,
well, at the Wells Fargo. Or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, whoa. The X.
The X, whatever it's called. They have the gates from the Spectrum in there in one of the bars. So the actual gates for the opening to the Spectrum. That's pretty cool. And they have a bar dedicated to the history of the Spectrum inside the Wells or the X.
Yeah, and for only $29.95, you too can get a shot of Rumplemans.
This is exactly like Twitter. I'm never going to call it X. I'm never going to call that place that. It's going to be the Wells Fargo forever.
Yes, I mean, we all thought that about Wachovia. The Wachovia Center? Are you kidding me? It was always the Wachovia. I mean, for me, the FU.
The FU.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, we say that, but like for me, Wells Fargo never really sounded great. That was never a great name for a stadium for me. Like the Wachovia Center, that was cool. That was cool. The Wells Fargo Center, like, all right.
Together we'll go far.
Like, that's dumb. I mean,
the thing is, we just never went far with any of the teams that play in it. Yeah.
No, what a terrible run that we had in the Wells Fargo. So it's a new era. I mean, look, the Flyers got the new hashtag new era of orange. Seemingly has been their hashtag for 7 years. Every year it's a new era. I mean, technically, yes. But they're really trying to get this whole. It's new, yeah. Porter Martone, Post Malone, Porter Martone out there going to be making big splashes. Chris, you're a big hockey guy. We talked about this a little bit the other week. Sorry, Kona is going nuts because she's a big Flyers dog. You can't judge any draft, especially an NHL draft, because you never or almost never have rookies playing the year they were drafted. I mean, most of these guys are going to play college hockey right now. But when I have some very highly respected scouts that I think really know their lick of salt when it comes to NHL, saying other than Porter Martone, they feel as though the Flyers shit the bed in this draft. Kind of gives you a bad feeling heading into it. I mean, again, there's plenty of people that you can look back and see the scouting report of, do not draft this guy. This guy sucks. And he goes on to be a Hall of Fame player. I mean, what Martin St. Louis was always a guy that people said, like, oh, he will suck. You can't draft that guy. He's too small. And, you know, he's what, is he in the Hall of Fame, or he's darn close to it? So, like, you never know. But when it's like across the board, everybody's like, yeah, the Flyers draft other than Porter Martone really suck.
It's just one of those things where it's like you're drafting, these kids are like 18, 19 years old. It's just so tough to tell right now. And like some of the feedback on him, I think, was like, he's not the greatest skater. It's like, all right, like you kind of need to know how to do that well in the NHL. So that sucks.
That's
but
kind
like,
of important.
It's kind of important. Like you're playing on knives. You might want to know how to do that. But like in their world, when they say like he's not the greatest skater, they're like, you're holding him up against like, you know, top tier level shit, right? So like it's not like the guy can't play hockey. Clearly, you don't get this far without being able to play hockey. It's just they're too young to tell, too young to know. And I think the trick that I found is just go into it with super low fucking expectations, and you can never get hurt. So that's
I mean, like the main things that I heard the concerns about was the Jack Nesbitt pick, the guy they traded up for. Everybody was like, he would have been there in their second round. Like, and the things I've heard was this guy can't skate. I mean, more than Porter. Like, I heard a fair amount of people being like, yeah, we would have liked Curtis Hagen a little bit more there. He ended up going a pick later to Boston, I believe. If I'll have to look. I remember he went very shortly thereafter. I think the very next pick. If I might have guys mixed up, so whatever, don't hold me to it. But the 12th pick where they go and took Jack Nesbitt, people were like, yeah, he was probably going to be there in their second round pick, and let alone everything. Like they were clearly reaching for position and just reached too far. But when you have that many picks, and I've said on the podcast before, if this GM, if this scouting team truly believes that this is their guy and they felt like they needed to move up and get him, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. The kid's 18, 19 years old. They clearly drafted for size. Their first like 6 picks were 6'2" or bigger, and they need it. They're a smaller team, so they clearly were drafting for size as well as position. So we'll see. But I know, based on analytics, a vast majority of our listeners aren't listening for Flyers hockey. So that is about the wrap when it comes to the Fly guys for now. Our producer Dan's going to be coming on in a near episode to give his takes when it comes to Rick the Rocket Tocchet, the Phantoms head coach Ian LaPerriere. I'm a big Lappy guy just as a guy in general, but not necessarily as a coach. And I know Dan can't stand him as a head coach, so we'll get some fiery takes when it comes to that. But guys, all-star break of the MLB. We're at the halfway point of the season. I asked this question on Twitter today, and I want your guys' answers. And it can be in any particular order you want. I want the mid-season MVP, your biggest surprise thus far, and that can be good or bad, the number one need that this team needs to address, and then is this team a World Series caliber team?
That's a lot of questions at once, Jake.
I will start with mid-season MVP. I mean, the finalists have got to be what? Kyle Schwarber, Wheeler, Ranger?
Yeah.
I mean, those are probably the 3 finalists. Anybody else? Any honorable mentions? Anybody else we need to put in there?
I was going to say
Sanchez.
Schwarber.
Sanchez is an honorable mention.
You could say Sanchez, right? Until about a month ago, you may have even have been able to say Luzardo.
Yeah.
You got to go Wheeler, I think, in this case. I mean, he's just start him and score 2 runs, and you've got the victory. Up until this very last start leading up to the All-Star game, where he actually got hit around. I think they put up 4 on him. I don't know how many were earned. Not important. All right, but I mean, up until this point, he has been the most consistent player on your team. We're going to talk a lot about the ups and downs and some of the rest of this starting rotation. Other than Schwarber, I don't think there's even a question to be had. He's been your MVP.
Technically, Ranger's been your most consistent. He only had 1 bad start, but Wheeler's done it for a larger sample size. So I do give the edge to Wheeler. But if we want to talk about consistency, other than his very first start,
Ranger. Jake. All right.
Sorry. I'm not sorry. Rangers are Guy. What are you talking about?
Love Ranger. That's fine. Feel free to talk him up
Yeah.
all you want, baby.
Unfortunately, he is gone. He's gone. After
He's
this.
gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's outplayed his current contract, and he has outplayed his next one for the Phillies.
Unfortunately, you guys in agreement? Wheeler, midseason MVP.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, I want different answers on this one. Biggest surprise thus far. It can be good or bad.
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep on rolling here. All right. So I've got a couple. I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit because I've got good surprises, I've got bad surprises. I gotta say, I mean, as in terms of good surprises, Schwarber has just been the man. Like, this man has consistently outpaced everything he's done with every other team he's been with, and he hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down. Like, he has been the one power hitter we have. And maybe my biggest surprise is the gap that he has put between himself and the rest of the team when it comes to power production. Okay.
Yep.
A couple other surprises I've had. I'll just rattle these off. How awful Bryson Stott has been for the entire season outside of April. Okay. He has regressed to the point where, like, we need to be having these conversations about who needs to replace him moving forward. Okay. We talked a little bit about how good and how bad Luzardo can be. That was a surprise to me. He was absolutely electric for his first, 6 starts. And then he's been lobbing up batting practice every other start. So that's the biggest surprise. Is almost the volatility, how the highs and the lows of Luzardo.
Doc, you got any big surprises?
Well, for me personally, it's Ranger because, coming off the back injury, who knew what we were going to get? His first start was very, very shaky. And then he surprised me. I mean, it's not a surprise because he's in a contract year, but I mean, his performance is not what I expected based on his medical history.
I like that. Bringing the medical history into it.
Well, you got to. Well, I got to.
He's good for half
He's
a
got
season.
it.
You don't know what half you're gonna get, but he's had his half a season, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that may blow up soon, but for now, it's surprising.
There you go, Chris. What you got?
I think the biggest surprise for me since Sean took my one about Schwarber is that this team is actually capable of playing small ball, and I didn't think over the last couple of years that we would be talking about that because I feel like we were just like a home run swinging for the fences type team, and Jake looks confused. So I don't know if you agree with me or disagree with me.
Have I missed the point in where we've played small ball?
I feel like we played small ball more this year than we have in prior years.
We can't rely on the home run ball.
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we certainly haven't played long ball.
That's what I'm saying. There's
a good
way
point.
less home runs.
We're leading the NL East with very few home runs. So I guess we've had to have played small ball.
Bingo.
Can I have one more surprise? I'm surprised at what a normal baseball player Bryce Harper has become. I know he's been injured. I know he's been recovering from that injury. I've never seen Bryce Harper just look like a guy for 90
No,
games.
He's never.
He just looks like an average, like on the 50th percentile of MLB players. He just looks like a regular guy. I saw a stat that showed that we had the exact same win percentage almost with and without Bryce Harper. And ever since then, it's felt like the aura has been completely gone or taken away from him. Right. There's no more like uproar when Bring Sally Up starts playing, right? When his intro music starts playing, he just seems like he's reverted to kind of just another player. I keep waiting for that to change, and I'm surprised it really just hasn't come around.
Yeah, and it seems like he's trying so hard to force it back. But back before we talked about, who would you want with runners in scoring position? And for years now, we've asked that question pretty much every year. And Bryce Harper has made that list. And right now, he's one of the last guys I'd want because he is trying so hard to be like, I am that guy again. You see him get up there. And I mean, this is a Phillies problem in general, but right after a walk and there's a pitch, and if it's anywhere even remotely close, he is swinging out of his shoes, trying to be like, yeah, that's me. Have him just have an excuse to do the old, this is my city, my town, my team. And I'm like, Bryce, baby, like, you are at your best when you are picking your spots, when you just make a pitcher, just be like, hey, you're going to have to throw it to me because I'm not swinging at it unless it's right in my spot. and they're like, damn it, shit, yeah, bases are loaded. I'm gonna have to find it. He waits for that mistake and makes him pay for it. I mean, we've seen so many times with his tenure here in Philly where he just waits for them to make a mistake and he does not miss. And now it's like, hey, they're throwing 2 pitches way out of the zone. He's in a 0-2 hole. And then anybody in Major League Baseball down 0-2, is gonna struggle. And they can just that point be like, I'll throw you whatever the hell I want, because the odds are I can throw 4 balls and you're gonna swing at one of them, and then you're out. And or you get a weak ground ball, or you pop up, or maybe you find a CNI single. But the odds are so much better, and he just needs to get back into that where people are talking about, yeah, I adopted Bryce Harper's 2-strike approach, where it's the no stride and he just chokes up and slaps something out there, because it doesn't matter what the count is, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If he's up to the plate right now, other than the one game against the Giants, he is swinging out of his shoes trying to become that guy again, when he just needs to revert back to being the fact that he's one of the best baseball players on this team, if not in the NL or MLB. And he's just trying to get back there. It seems like it's a mental thing, Doc. I don't know. Like, it seems to me like he's just like needs to prove it to himself more than he needs to prove it to anybody else, or vice versa. Needs to prove everybody else, when we're all like, no, dude, you are one of the best. Like, just fall back on your natural God-given ability.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like coming off, like, say, for football, if you come off an injury, you need to get sacked and get up. You need to get hit and then get up and say, okay, I'm good. So he needs, I think he's just trying to find that moment where he gets that and says mentally, I'm back. I think he's still having nagging problems with his wrist, and it's affecting him. And I think that's why he's trying to make an impact with one swing. And I think that once he kind of has a moment like that, he'll be more natural and more the player we're used to seeing.
Yeah. Am I able to say, does this qualify for biggest surprise? Is more recently Brandon Marsh. I mean, he had a terrible month and a half, but he's had a phenomenal 2 months coming back off that injury. I mean, his June and July have been great.
I think you're completely right, because we were getting to the point where we were bashing him like, dude, if you're not going to get better, like, shit or get off the pot, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I even have another one for you. How about Tanner Banks just being like the picture of consistency?
Yeah,
Right?
Tanner Banks
This guy
really
was the
coming
most
in.
unassuming, probably. I mean, the last arm on the roster, it felt like. The guy's been playing every other day, it feels like. His numbers aren't fantastic, but he's gone in and night out, it felt like, and has been getting the job done.
Yeah. But also on Marsh, I feel like there needs to be a caveat. Like, people, because we gave up a highly touted prospect for him, because he's got, that aura. He's a likable guy. He was, the last of the daycare kids, and people just hold him in a higher esteem. He's a 9-hole hitter. He's a 8-9-hole hitter. He's one of the best 8 or 9-hole hitters in baseball. Don't think of him as, oh, he needs to be one of the best hitters in baseball. No, he's a 7, 8, or 9-hole guy, and he is batting and playing at a much higher level than you expect from a 7, 8, or 9-hole guy. And that's what people need to realize that he is. Do we have struggles in our 4, 5, and 6-hole? Sure. But don't hold that against Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is a 7, 8, 9-hole hitter on almost any team that he's on. And he is a very, very good 7 to 9-hole hitter. All right. Biggest need ahead of the trade deadline.
You got to go power bat. You got to go power bat. Right? I don't know who's available. I struggle to answer this question because I don't know what the market looks like. I don't know what these.
Every year you hear Luis Roberts. Every year.
Yeah, I know, and he's gotten worse every single year. So,
Yes.
like, you can probably put those to bed. Like, he's in the right place. Okay, he can just stay in Chicago and play for one of the worst teams in the league. Right? It sounds like he belongs there. Okay. I don't know what's out there, what kind of feelers Dombrowski's putting out there. I don't know what kind of directive Middleton's been giving them. So it's hard for me to say, but watching this team, I think having a power bat in the lineup would be the biggest difference maker, right? Is there a guy that can play out in left field? I don't know, but if there is, that's my biggest need right there, okay? We're getting addition by subtraction and then adding some power into this lineup. That would
Luis Roberts batting.
What is he batting?
Luis Roberts batting 190 right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
with a sub 600 OPS.
Yeah. Garbage, flash in the pan. He got a little too ahead of himself, completely forgot how to study the game.
Yeah,
Completely stopped.
2023, 38 home runs. 14 last year. He's at 9 thus far this year.
There's got to be, I'm sure there's a toll that playing for the White Sox takes on you, right? But there's got to be more to that. I don't know if there's lingering injuries that just weren't reported. I don't know if there was some sort of substance being used. I know I'm always quick to jump on that. I don't think that's the case, but like 38, that's astronomical.
Yeah.
To revert back down to 14 or so.
Yeah. Stephen Kwan's been a name that's kind of been thrown around a little bit. Doesn't fall into that power bat at all. But he's an average. He's average.
He is an upgrade from what we do currently have.
Unfortunately, he's a left-handed bat.
We can find a spot for him. It just wouldn't be quite as exciting or sexy or really fill the need quite as well as somebody that hits for power.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a left-handed bat that we don't really need as far as left hand, but he's a left fielder, which we do probably need an everyday left fielder. But he doesn't bring that power. It's to your credit, Sean. I don't know what right-handed power bat is really out there. Because I mean, we had talked for years, like, oh, Cody Bellinger. He's not being traded right now.
My son is over here screaming for Buxton.
Yeah. No, it's a great guy. I mean, he's older, but if you're talking about, hey, like this team is older. This whole, like we've said a million times in the past year, this is probably the last year that you can make a run with this team as its core. So Byron Buxton, it's a great. He answers so many questions. He's a plus bat. He's super fast. He's a plus glove. It's just a matter of what's it going to cost you. But really, as far as all the years that we've talked about, oh, is this the year they're going to try and go out and get Byron Buxton? This is probably going to be one of the more affordable years to get him, just in the fact that he's a year older.
Well, he just hit for the cycle on his bobblehead day, so that might have hiked the price tag a little bit. But
yeah,
no, I mean you got.
I think it's probably like he was definitely cheaper other years. He's having a phenomenal year right now.
Yeah,
290 with 21 home runs.
Yeah, he's playing lights out. I mean,
925 OPS.
He also talked about not exercising his no trade clause or exercising it, so he's not going anywhere, or at least that's the rub that he's given us.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then if they address that, I also do think very closely behind it is a true closer. I do think like let's not overlook the fact that we do need a true closer. Doc, your thoughts?
Well, didn't we just draft one? Isn't that why we drafted the kid?
Yeah, I mean, he can't play this year.
Well, can't he?
Can he?
I don't know.
Well, we drafted 9 pitchers in the first 10 rounds.
Oh, yeah. we drafted only pitchers. We drafted, I think it was like 16 pitchers and 4 position players. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And the guy we drafted in the 20th round, the last pick, was like apparently touted to be like a top 5 round draft pick. And I don't know enough about these prospects in high school to know why he was not. But he very quickly put out a post on social media saying, like, not saying I'm not signing, but saying super excited to start my collegiate baseball career. So saying I am not signing.
Yeah.
Just a side note here. But yeah, we clearly targeted not only pitchers, collegiate pitchers. It was like the first 6 rounds were all college pitchers. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to look that up. Can 2025?
I don't think so, but I'm just saying it seemed like they were drafting for need there.
Yeah, I mean, the guy looks like a stud. He threw the yes, it is possible for 2025 MLB draft to play in the major leagues during the 2025 season, though it is not the norm. While most draft players spend time in the minor leagues to develop, some have gone directly to the majors after being drafted. I mean, this is the Google AI saying this. So
that would be insanity.
Yeah. Hey, bud, welcome to the team. You're starting. You gotta come in.
Show.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, he's a stud.
No, in the bullpen. In the bullpen.
Yeah, no, of course, in the pen. He's a stud. He's got the stuff. 3rd ever College World Series, no, and only hit a guy to keep him from the perfect game.
Come on, so, Romano's turning the corner any second now, guys. Just
any day.
He's working on some things. He's had a thing. He's had a hip It's been bothering him.
I think he has 2 of them.
Yeah.
Or an
I think he's
elbow
good.
if you're
And-
Bryson Stott.
Alvarado's coming back, right?
Just
But
in
then-
time to
Yeah, only for the
stick
regular
to the playoffs.
season.
Right. Not for the playoff.
Yeah,
Could
only
rest
for
other
the-
guys. Like give him all the work.
Nice. Sick. So if they address one or both of those things, I mean, that's obviously a massive if. I'll ask if or if not. Currently, this team doesn't make any significant moves. Are they a World Series caliber team?
All right. So for the record, I don't think they make any sort of significant move at the deadline. They're going to get a guy that is going to spend half his time in AAA and half his time platooning in the bigs, right? To some extent. Can this team be a World Series team? Yeah. With this starting pitching, absolutely. Right. But it's going to take us getting hot at the right time offensively. The bats are going to have to there's going to be some level of like randomity along to it that we're going to have to kind of strike while the iron's hot. Like
You lost
it
me at
happens.
randomity.
Yeah, it's not
all
a shot.
the
That's a fucking
time.
word.
We're
There's not a shot,
0%
that's a word.
chance randomity is a word.
give it to me. I'm going to keep talking while you look that up. We're not the Dodgers who, like, even on a cold week has a chance of going to the World Series, right? We're going to have to strike while the iron's hot while we're swinging the bats. Is it going to happen? Not likely. I wouldn't put any money on it, but I think as of right now, you certainly can't sell at the deadline. You got to go full steam ahead and hope you get hot at the right time.
Shout out the Randominity podcast.
Yeah,
I struggle to spell that, dude. Like,
how
you
many
just
is
made up
that
a
worth in a
fucking
game of Scrapple?
Yeah, you
Don't
can't.
get too ballsy. It's not a word.
You can't. Randominity is not a widely accepted or recognized word in the formal English dictionary.
It's a non-standard term. Oh, listen. I'll tell you, this might be the first time I'll tell you this. It's not the first time I've said it. Shakespeare was credited with creating over 1,000 words. Okay, he was praised for it. All right, the English language allows us to create things that didn't exist prior. Okay, write that one down.
So,
we're gonna make
write
this
it down.
happen.
Okay, but we need a definition. What is the definition of randomity?
Like an amount of randomness required.
Oh, it's a measurement. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
All right. There's a certain level of chaos that needs to kind of click all together at one point, right?
So
the stars have to align, all right?
Like, would you say like there's a number before, like you need 20 randominity? Or is it like
I used it in the only
you got to put it to the
term.
power of 20. Science, Jake. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not, the way you used it, it sounded good.
No.
It's
Yeah,
good.
it did.
It's good. No, it's
Yeah.
good. I'm telling you right now. Write it down, use it in a sentence, kind of lock it in, teach it. It's a good way to learn something. You have to teach it, okay?
Yeah.
Doc, is this a World Series caliber team as it's built currently?
Depending on the randomity, I can't even say it, but
you got to
use that in a surgery.
Yeah. Well,
are there any risks? Well, there's a lot of randomity when it comes to
recovery of
like this.
Of the muscle. I think I agree. I look at the overall picture in the NL, and I think why not the Phillies? I mean, the Dodgers have had their slumps. I mean, if we get hot at the right time, like you said, I think we can beat any of the top tier teams in the National League in a series. I think we can. You pick whoever. I think it'll be tough to win the World Series because I think the AL has better teams, and I think we'd struggle immensely with the top teams in the American League at this point. But in the National League, I think we got a puncher's chance. Chalk it up to randomity or whatever, but I think we got a puncher's chance to at least get there. I don't know if I used that corrally. I think I did.
You're doing great,
Sean.
Sean,
how was that? Good. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Nice. Chris?
I'll echo what these guys said. I think it's just such a hot and cold game that if you hit that hot streak, being home in October, there's so many different factors to it. But I'll say yes. But to win the World Series is a totally different question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say currently no. Could they? Yeah, sure. Like you've seen a lot of bad teams in the World Series, but to say, oh yeah, the way this team is currently constructed is a World Series team, I just think that's unrealistic. Like, yeah, they could, but I think there's better teams in the National League than them, and I think the Dodgers are considerably better than them. And like our starting pitching, sure, they could go 7 innings in the postseason. Like you can't expect a pitcher to go 8, 9 innings. Like you just can't. You're going up against the best with everything on the line. They have too many proven guys. And there's a lot of randomity when it comes to the postseason. You may never see the Dodgers. You know, you may have somebody get knocked out. You have good teams lose in the postseason, but to expect to just have all of our starting pitchers pitch at the highest level that we would need them to, because of the fact that we can't rely on the bats, because there's so much randomity when it comes to, are you going to get a game where you get 7 runs, or are you going to get a game where you get 1 or no runs? And there's just too much of it. I can't use it for a third time. That's just against the rules.
No.
There's too much of it. And so, no, this team is currently not a World Series caliber team. Could this team with no changes become that? Sure. We have all-star level players across the board. Could they all play to their potential? And by end of August, we're saying, oh, not only is this team a World Series team, they're a World Series favorite. Sure. But as it currently stands today, no, I don't believe that they're truly a World Series caliber team. And, getting a big power bat and getting a closer is certainly going to bring them a lot closer to it. And a shakeup like that could jumpstart the rest of the guys to really get them going. So I don't think they're very far off, but as they're currently playing, as they currently sit, I don't have them as a World Series caliber team.
First in the division, man. You got to give them a puncher's chance, right? We're getting Nola back eventually, which means that's a kind of a guaranteed loss along the way. But also, the Wiktionary is telling me it's randomicity.
Yeah, you're not the Wiktionary. You're Sean Zebley.
Randomicity. I don't like that nearly enough. I'm going to keep randomicity.
You took like random and anonymity, which are two definite words, and you put them together.
It's a sea and anemone.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're just waiting for this team to be like a number 1, number 2, like top 3 team in the MLB. I mean, but on any given night, can we beat a top 3 team in the MLB? Yes.
Sure.
Over the course of 162 games, or in this case, a 5 or 7 game series, it gets a little more complicated. But I think
we just had a stretch where we lost more games than we won when our starting pitching gave up 2 or less runs. Like, that's not good. They are a good team. They are a very good team. But there's just, it's like I think it was Drunk Phillies fans shared like a graphic where it's the 3 check things where you can have like good pitching, good hitting, good, solid bullpen, and you only can check 2. You can't have all 3 going. And that's been the Phillies thus far this season. There's been very few games where it's just everything's clicking. And there's just too many times, like the last game they won before the All-Star break, they won 2-1. Like, they need to score more runs against bad teams. They need to get the bats alive. There's too many players just not hitting. And like I said, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this team, as it's playing currently, could make the World Series. But to me, they need to play at a higher level. They're half a game up in the National League with other teams, or in the National League East, with other teams in the National League East not playing up to their standard. It's not like the Mets are playing great and we're playing better than them. The Mets aren't playing very good either. I don't think the Mets are a World Series caliber team. So to say like, yeah, we're number 1 in the NL East, that's great. That's wonderful. It's a guaranteed playoff spot. But that's not the standard that I hold them against. And the World Series isn't the best teams in the National League East. It's the best team in baseball. And they're not the best team in baseball right now. They're not the best team in the National League right now. They have a puncher's chance. I'll give you that, sure. But they need to play better if they want to have me, Jake Biasato, say on Talking 2 and 5, this is a World Series caliber team. You have a World Series caliber World Series caliber starting 3.
Just killing it tonight.
You do. And that's kind of where it drops off. You have a World Series caliber DH. You got a World Series caliber 8 or 9 hole hitter. That's kind of where it sits right now for me.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't need to be the best team in the MLB on July 15th, right? We got a couple months to go. You talk about the Mets. Last year, we were whooping on the Mets, right? I don't know what the discrepancy was, but you wouldn't have said the Mets were a better team than us. And then what happened? They got hot at the right time, and then they kicked our asses when it mattered. So I mean, there's just too much talent on this team, and we're playing well enough at this point to say, listen, if we're firing on all cylinders, we can beat any team over the course of a 7-game series. I don't know though. Like if you ran that same series back 2, 3, 4 times, what the hell would happen? But you only have to play it once.
Yep.
So, I'm trying to stay positive. I'm screaming at my television, and then I'm coming to you guys, and I'm going, you know what? Woosah, long season. Here's some good things. Let's enjoy the break.
The 2-day break.
Yeah, big break.
The weekend.
Yeah, they're not playing tomorrow though, right? They're playing Thursday.
They're playing Friday.
Friday. Oh, huge break. What are you talking about?
They got Mike Trout in town on Friday.
Here we go.
Get them out.
All we know is Luzardo is pitching. That's all we know. Angels not having a terrible season.
Nope.
Only 2 games behind 500. That's big for them. Good
That's
for you.
elite ball play for the Angels.
Yes, that is massive. Final thought: randomity. Get it in the dictionary.
Randomity. Get it into me.
Yep. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Delaware Orthopedic Specialists. Spring has officially sprung, and you know what that means. All the weekend warriors dusting off their gear and trying way too hard to relive the glory days, and you know what's going to happen. Hip, ankle, foot, leg, knee, shoulder, injuries. Where else should you go other than Delaware Orthopedic Specialists? I don't know. DOS has specialists trained in each and every part of the body, so you're getting a provider specifically assigned to that part of the body. Why would you trust anyone other than a specialist? The only fellowship-trained surgery center in the state of Delaware makes it a no-brainer. Head on over to delortho.com or give them a call at 302-655-9494. I'm telling you, my family's gone there. My friends have gone there. Check out their Google reviews. They are phenomenal. DOS. Don't trust anyone other than a specialist.